Have you ever wondered why the universe gives you exactly what you don't want and ignores what you've been praying for? Why does it seem that the harder you try to manifest something, the further it slips away from your reach? Think about it. We spend our lives visualizing, scripting, affirming, asking, begging, repeating. Universe, please give me this. And yet, it feels like we're whispering into a void that never answers back. But what if the void isn't ignoring you? What if the void is you, and you've simply forgotten how to speak its language? Because the truth is, manifestation isn't about forcing reality to obey your desires. It's about remembering that you were never separate from the force creating it. You don't attract what you want, you manifest what you are. And maybe, just maybe, that's why nothing's been working. Because you've been trying to change reality when the real work is changing the one who perceives it. So before you give up on your reality, before you assume the universe has turned its back on you, ask yourself this. What if every unanswered prayer was never a rejection, but an invitation to remember that you are the all? Most people think manifestation is about asking the universe for something it hasn't yet given you. They think it's about repeating affirmations, holding crystals, burning sage, or visualizing a dream life until it appears. But that's not manifestation. That's negotiation, and the universe doesn't negotiate, it mirrors. You see, the all, the infinite consciousness that sustains everything, is not out there. It's in here. Every particle, every breath, every moment of awareness is the all looking back at itself. And the spark within you, that silent pulse behind your thoughts, is the fragment of that infinite power, the divine spark through which reality is born. It's not a metaphor, it's physics in motion. Consciousness collapsing waves of possibility into form. What ancient mystics called the word, modern scientists call the collapse of the wave function. And it happens through you. Every thought, every emotion, every vibration you project is a command sent to the fabric of existence. This is what I am. And because the all can only give you what you are, it shapes reality according to your inner state, not your outer effort. The hidden mechanics of creation. Think of it this way. You are not trying to manifest something new. You are trying to remove everything that blocks what already is. The divine spark doesn't struggle to create. It doesn't doubt, it doesn't beg, it doesn't chase. It simply is. And from that state of pure being, universes emerge. When you feel unworthy, the all mirrors lack. When you feel desperate, the all mirrors distance. When you feel peace, gratitude, and wholeness, it mirrors expansion, abundance, and flow. The paradox is cruel but perfect. You manifest the moment you stop trying to manifest. Because in that stillness, the spark finally breathes again. It's like clearing the static from a radio signal. Once the interference is gone, the message plays clearly. That's why saints, mystics, and sages spoke in riddles. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The Father and I are one. I and the universe are not two. They weren't being poetic, they were being precise. The flame within. There's a point deep within you that no fear can touch. A place beyond emotion, beyond belief, a silent field of awareness that watches everything yet remains unchanged. That's the spark. That's where the all manifests through you. But here's the tragedy. Most people have buried this spark under layers of ego, fear, trauma, and cultural hypnosis. They've been told they're small, powerless, unworthy of miracles. And when they pray and nothing happens, they think God ignored them. But the all cannot ignore you, because you are the all. You cannot be separated from your own consciousness. You can only forget who's dreaming. The ego is like smoke covering the flame. The spark never dies, but its light is obscured. So the first step of manifestation isn't creating more light. It's clearing the smoke, removing the doubt, releasing the noise. When you stop identifying with the smoke, the flame takes over. It burns through the illusion of limitation and begins shaping your world according to its natural law. As within, so without. The proof. Hidden in plain sight. If this sounds mystical, look closer at reality itself. Every decision you make is a micro-manifestation. You think of a friend and they text you. You dwell on fear and you see more things to fear. Your emotional vibration acts like gravity, pulling matching events into your orbit. This is not fantasy, it's resonance. Your energy field constantly broadcasts instructions to the all, and the all, being infinite intelligence, never argues. It simply responds. That's why the ancient teachers said that prayer isn't about asking for something. Prayer is alignment. It's entering the same frequency as the thing desired until you and it are indistinguishable, until wanting dissolves and only being remains. Gandhi understood this. He didn't manifest India's freedom by fighting harder. He aligned his being with the principle of freedom itself. His vibration became so clean, so attuned to the all, that reality had no choice but to bend to his state. That is the secret of effortless creation, when your vibration becomes the command, the shift of power. You were never meant to chase outcomes. You were meant to embody them. You don't need to convince the universe to give you what you want. You need to remember that you are already the source from which all things come. The all doesn't bless one person more than another. It only flows where there is no resistance. So when your heart is pure, when your desires are free of fear, jealousy, comparison, or control, you begin to operate under the same law that governs creation itself. That's why some people seem to attract miracles easily, not because they're lucky, but because their frequency is clean. They've stopped broadcasting lack and started embodying abundance. They don't think I want, they know I am. The real formula. If you want to manifest anything, a relationship, a healing, a dream, a destiny, you must first make peace with the truth. You cannot receive what you are fighting. You cannot attract what you secretly doubt, and you cannot manifest from fear. Manifestation is not about demanding from the universe. It's about dissolving into it until there's no difference between the prayer and the one who prays. That's when miracles stop being rare and start being natural. So if manifestation is so simple, why do most people fail to create the life they desire? Why do billions keep praying for miracles that never arrive? Because they're not praying to the all, they're praying to the echo of their own ego. And the ego is the greatest saboteur in the universe, the invisible wall. The ego was born from fear, the first illusion of separation from the all. It whispers, "You are alone, you must survive, you must compete." And from that moment, humanity stopped creating with the universe and started trying to control it. That is the beginning of resistance. Every time you try to make something happen, every time you force, chase, push, or beg, you are telling the all, "I don't trust you." And the all, which only mirrors your vibration, replies, "Then I cannot trust you either." Because manifestation doesn't fail due to lack of power, it fails due to interference. The same way static distorts a frequency, fear distorts creation. You may be thinking of abundance, but if underneath that thought is a vibration of, "I'm afraid I'll never have enough," you've already told the universe your truth, and the all simply reflects it back. It's not punishing you. It's showing you what you're broadcasting. That's why your reality never lies. It is the most honest mirror you will ever face. The prison of beliefs. Every belief you hold acts like code written into your personal matrix. Some of those beliefs are empowering. Others are ancient viruses passed down through family, culture, religion, and fear. You've been told that being humble means being small, that desiring more means being greedy, that you must earn love, success, and joy. And so you created an identity built on limitation, a house made of walls disguised as virtues. These beliefs don't just live in your mind, they live in your energy. They radiate silently, constantly telling the all, this is who I am and this is all I deserve. That's why no amount of visualization can override them. You cannot plant seeds of abundance in the soil of self-doubt. The paradox of effort. You've probably heard people say you need to work harder on your vibration. But that's the ego's favorite trap, turning spirituality into another task for the mind to dominate. You cannot force alignment. You cannot fight your way into flow. The harder you try, the more you affirm that you are not yet what you seek. This is why the Buddha reached enlightenment not through striving, but through surrender. When he stopped trying to escape suffering, he transcended it. When he stopped reaching for light, he became it. Lao Tzu called it Wu Wei, effortless action, movement through harmony, not passivity, but partnership. It's the state where the ego finally bows and the spark within takes the lead. The moment you stop grasping at control, the all begins to orchestrate things so perfectly that you'll think it's magic, but it's not. It's simply the natural rhythm of a universe that no longer has to fight you. The energy equation. Imagine two forces within you, one expansive, the voice of the all, whispering trust, flow, allow. The other contractive, the ego, whispering fear, doubt, control. Both cannot coexist in dominance. When one expands, the other must recede. So the question isn't, how do I manifest more? It's, which voice am I feeding? Every thought you repeat becomes a frequency. Every frequency you sustain becomes matter. That's why a single moment of genuine surrender can achieve what 10 years of hard effort cannot. When you finally release resistance, energy that was once locked in fear returns to flow, and miracles start to look suspiciously ordinary. The story of the flame and the smoke. Let me tell you something ancient. The all is like a pure flame, eternal, self-sustaining, infinite. The ego is the smoke rising from it. The smoke looks real, it moves, it swirls, it even casts shadows. But it has no substance of its own. You've been taught to live in the smoke, chasing its shapes, fearing its illusions, and all the while you've forgotten that you are the flame. When the ego dominates, you manifest from smoke. Your creations are unstable, temporary, reactive. But when you remember the flame, your manifestations become steady, luminous, unshakable. The key to everything is this. The flame doesn't need to fight the smoke. It just needs to burn brighter. The most common lie, the greatest lie ever told, wasn't that God doesn't exist. It's that God exists somewhere else. You've been trained to look outward, to chase signs, angels, numbers, rituals, all while ignoring the power humming quietly behind your heartbeat. Religion gave humanity the idea of separation to control behavior. Society gave you ideals to chase so you'd forget what you already are. And so we live in a world of people trying to become worthy of what they were born being. That's the real tragedy of existence. Not that we are powerless, but that we were hypnotized into forgetting our own divinity. The weight of the world. Every ounce of stress, anxiety, or exhaustion you carry comes from resisting what already wants to flow through you. You were not designed to hold the universe on your shoulders. You were designed to let it move through you, effortlessly, joyfully, endlessly. When you hold on to control, life feels heavy. When you surrender, life starts carrying you. This isn't about giving up, it's about trusting up. And that's the real secret of manifestation that almost nobody tells you. You don't need to force creation. You just need to stop blocking it. You were never meant to fix the universe. You were meant to remember you are the universe, fixing itself. There is a moment in every seeker's life when they realize, They were never meant to find the divine. They were meant to remember they never left it. That's the turning point. That's when the struggle ends and the awakening begins, because the universe does not ask you to work for miracles. It asks you to become the miracle, the return to the all. When you stop trying to manifest from separation and start manifesting as the all, everything changes. It's no longer you trying to create something. It's creation expressing itself through you. You become the brush in the hand of infinity. You stop chasing and start allowing. This is the purest form of manifestation. Not control, not manipulation, but alignment. The all does not resist. It does not push. It flows. And when you enter that current, reality begins to rearrange itself around your vibration like iron filings around a magnet. You become the center of harmony, and everything in your field starts dancing to your frequency. But here's the mystery. You don't do this by wanting more light. You do this by removing what dims it. The universe is not withholding anything from you. It's waiting for you to stop hiding from yourself. The physics of light. In every atom there's a dance between light and form. When photons strike electrons, energy levels shift. Creation happens. Your consciousness works the same way. When love, the pure frequency of the all, touches your awareness, it excites the matter of your life. Things move, expand, evolve, manifest. But the ego filters that light through fear, guilt, comparison. It distorts the current. The spark becomes a flicker. To merge with the all is to remove the filter entirely, to say, let there be nothing left in me that resists the truth. That is when the all floods through you, and manifestation becomes no longer an act, but a state. You don't command the universe, you become its language. You don't ask for signs, you are the sign. You don't look for answers. You realize you are the question and the answer unfolding together. The state of no resistance. The mind fears surrender because it believes it means loss. But to the all, surrender is gain. It's the dissolving of the barrier between you and the infinite. When you let go of control, you don't lose power. You become power. It's the same paradox that governs every level of existence. The seed must die for the tree to be born. The wave must fall to merge back into the ocean. The ego must quiet so the all can speak through it. You can feel this shift when it happens. There's no drama, no fireworks, no aha moment, just stillness, just peace, just an inner knowing that says, I am home. It's the vibration that monks spend lifetimes reaching, and yet it's been with you since the day you were born. The all manifests through simplicity. The truth is disarmingly simple. The more light you carry, the less effort you need. When your heart beats in harmony with the all, you don't attract, you emanate. You don't desire, you embody. Every thought of gratitude becomes a magnetic field. Every act of kindness expands the waveform of your reality. Every moment of love reshapes the quantum field around you. This is not wishful thinking. It's the sacred technology of consciousness. That's why saints could heal with a touch, why masters could walk into storms and command stillness. They didn't change the world. They remembered it was already whole, and so it obeyed. The energy of purity. There's a law you can feel, though you can't see it. The purer your intention, the faster reality responds, because the all only flows through truth. When your motives are clean, when you act not for gain, not for recognition, but simply to serve the evolution of love itself, you align with the most powerful current in existence. That current doesn't need time, it doesn't need proof, it simply is. And that's why some people seem to manifest effortlessly. They've stopped playing the game of wanting and started playing the game of being. The all doesn't need to be convinced, it needs to be recognized. The unveiling. Do you remember the story of the shamans who danced for rain? They didn't beg the heavens for water. They danced as if it was already raining. They became the vibration of rain, and the clouds responded. That is creation. That is the all, recognizing itself in motion, and it's happening through you right now. Every time you love, forgive, release, or trust, you are sending a command into the infinite code of existence. This is who I am. And the all, with infinite obedience, replies, so be it. The moment of fusion. When you reach this level of surrender, you stop asking, how can I manifest? And start asking, how can I serve the manifestation of the all through me? Your personal desires dissolve into divine will, not through loss, but through expansion. You realize your dreams were never separate from the universe's plan. They were its way of guiding you back to alignment. That's when the miracles start to multiply. Synchronicities, effortless opportunities, divine timing, not because you've mastered life, but because you've merged with the one who already has. You become like a river returning to the ocean. The same water, the same essence, but now infinite. That's not philosophy. That's homecoming. The manifestor's revelation. You may think this journey is about power. It's not. It's about purity, because true power comes from innocence, the heart so open it no longer fears being hurt. When you live in that state, manifestation becomes natural law, not something you control, but something that moves through you. You are no longer the one trying to bend reality. You are reality bending itself. You are the all dreaming as you and awakening through your awareness. You don't manifest by demanding light. You manifest by remembering you were never anything else. You are the all. You always were. You just forgot how infinite you already are. The ocean never asks the wave to come home because it never left. The light never fights the darkness. It simply shines, and the shadows remember who they are. And you were never lost. You were never waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle waiting to remember itself. The moment you stop chasing light, you realize it's been flowing through your veins since the beginning of time. Every breath is the all, breathing through you. So let go of the wanting, of the resistance, of the illusion that you ever needed to earn your divinity. Because right now, in this stillness, you are already everything you've been asking for. If something inside you shifted tonight, don't just let it fade into another forgotten moment. The act of remembering the all begins with participation. So hit like, that's not for me, that's for you. It's the symbolic moment of surrender, the first yes you've said to your own divine current. Leave a comment below. Write one thing you're releasing, one illusion you're ready to dissolve. That's not engagement, that's transmutation. And if you subscribe with the bell on, consider it your declaration to never fall asleep again, because this channel isn't entertainment. It's the remembering field, where fragments of the all meet to wake each other up. Most will scroll away, but the few who act will notice something subtle. The algorithm, both digital and divine, will begin to shift. Because the moment you align with truth, reality has no choice but to answer back.